Let's talk about mistakes to avoid when you are building a home business. That's right. What are the things that you should not be doing? And maybe they're things that you hadn't really realized that you were doing. This was a trap that I fell into. So I want to make you aware so you don't fall into the same trap. So if you're new on here, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, it's good to see you. My name is Brooke Oaks from brookeoaks.com, where you can find tips, tools, and resources to help you build your business on social media without paying for ads. And of course, if there's any type of content that you ever want covered, be sure to send me a message, let me know, and I can get something covered for you. And lastly, don't forget to let me know where you're tuning in from, because now I've got this fun new software and I can see you all everywhere. So let me know where you are. So, mistakes to avoid when building a home business. There's so many different ways that you can do things. You've got so many different trainers, and sometimes if you've been in it a while, or maybe even if you're brand new, you make the mistake of following all these different people, right? There are so many different trainers, so many different leaders, and they're all teaching you something different, showing you different ways of doing things. And a lot of them work, right? A lot of these methods work, but you've got to be consistent with them. And sometimes we end up making consistent mistakes. So, when you're building your home business, right, you got to be mindful. What is it that you need to actually be doing? So, for me, when I brought my business onto social media in 2017, because I started out in person in 2012, right? In person was like a whole different can of worms. You go, you do home parties, you do little restaurant things, get togethers, fun things, right? Drive around a bajillion miles. But building on social media is very attractive to many people because you can make money using your social media, right? You can make money that way from home. Um, but there's a trap that everyone falls into when building on social media. And that is, a lot of times we end up scrolling too much and looking at too many things, right? How many times have you maybe thought you were going to post some content or share some information, and all of a sudden you have been scrolling for an hour, right? I I can tell you, on TikTok, right, probably gets you. So you want to be careful about falling into that trap and being mindful of your time and what you're doing. Because sometimes if you spend too much time falling down the rabbit holes, right, you feel like you, don't have time to do your business because you don't realize that you're wasting it, right? And B, you may see it as more of a frustrating thing, an obstacle, and reason why you shouldn't do it because you feel like you're not seeing the success that you want. So, one of the ways to get out of that hole, out of that trap, and avoid that mistake is to set a timer, right? Set a timer and say, okay, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, or I'm going to do this for 10 minutes, or, whatever time you have available right then and there. Maybe you have time for a single message and then you need to run. Be mindful of your time. Timers are your best friend. Number two, you want to be mindful of depending too much on like a certain method, specifically when it comes to marketing, right? Marketing is great. Everyone loves the idea of attraction marketing, and marketing in general. But this can lead into its own kind of rabbit hole. And this was another of my big problems when I first came on social media with my business, was that I wasn't getting in front of enough people, right? I was marketing, right? I was learning how to do marketing. I found this amazing community, and I'm like, okay, this is how you do your posts, and this is what you need to do on a daily basis, and this is how you get in front of people. But I was not bringing in the following, and Facebook, until Reels came about, was probably the biggest trap for me in that, right? Because you were limited by your friends list. Now, I had on my business page, back when they actually promoted it without you having to do ads, I had thousands of people coming in that way. to view things, but Facebook has that whole friends limit. Now that we've got Reels, it makes it a little bit easier. It works a little bit more like Instagram and TikTok, where it pushes out based on what people want to watch, right? So you want to be mindful of the connections that you're making. Are you talking with someone new every day, or are you talking with the same 5 or 10 people, right? Because people aren't always ready right away. Someone may not be ready to buy right now, but 5 years down the road, hopefully not that long, but it happens. 5 years down the road, they turn around and they're like, hey, I thought you did this. Can I get some information, right? And in your head, you're probably thinking, didn't I talk to you about this? I knew it would be something that was helpful. Yeah, it happens, right? So that's why you don't want to focus on those same people, right? Marketing is great as long as you're marketing to more people and not just in front of the same people all the time. And if you're having trouble, if you're one of those people who's stuck with the mindset of going viral and you're having trouble getting reach, maybe, um, what you can do is go and you can follow different people or connect with different people. And it doesn't have to be necessarily to prospect them, it can be to build your following, right? If you see someone's feed that you like, there's no harm in talking to them about something on there that you like. So that was something that was kind of mind blowing for me when I realized, hey, my Facebook isn't growing because, and as soon as I started to change that, then, more friends, my following was growing, more comments are coming, more stuff was happening, and it created more momentum, right? It helps you get going. So another mistake is people go into things without a plan, right? You don't really have a plan. You just kind of hope if you throw some spaghetti at the wall, maybe something will stick and work, right? That's kind of some of the things that we always hope. And it's for some people it works. Some people, ignorance on fire will get you somewhere. And I will tell you, I was one of those people in the very beginning. Ignorance on fire grows everything, but that can burn out, right? So then you have to start thinking and planning, being more strategic. So how are you going to get in front of more people, right? How are you going to create content that actually gets in front of more than just 5 or 10 people that you've been trying to show you can help them, but they're not really getting it yet, right? So, what in your plan could you do? Could you, like I said, go and start following new people? Could you message new people about something that you like, or ask questions, or go into groups? Like, what is it that you can do? Another thing that some people make the mistake of thinking is that they have to know it all, right? You want to have all the information and be able to do everything before you get started. And that doesn't really make sense, right? It's kind of like you want to learn to cook. So before you decide to try cooking, you read a bunch of books, you watch a bunch of videos, but you don't really know what you're doing until you try to do it, right? So don't always feel like you have to know how to do everything. Sometimes the best way to go in is to be imperfect and try things. And if it doesn't work, don't do it again, right? That is like one of the best things in life, is that there is no actual manual. You go, you try. If it doesn't work, try something else. No harm in that, right? If it didn't work, it happens. And then you can go and try something else. And so, even though you want to avoid these mistakes, don't be afraid to make mistakes, right? Don't be afraid to see, hey, this looks like something that could work. Will it work? Try it. Maybe, if it doesn't, kind of go with it. And if you're someone who is overly analytical, I get it. It can be hard. But if you step out of your head and realize how many people you could potentially help, how many people that you could potentially give a boost up, there are people who are fighting hidden battles that you've got no idea of. And so you could be that boost that they need to get where they need to be, right? You could be that boost that helps them go from being on the dirt floor to actually feeling amazing and getting somewhere. Don't be afraid to try new things because sometimes you're that one that someone needs. So, just a few tips I thought I'd bring on here for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed these. And again, if you're looking for tips, tools, or resources to help you build your business, be sure to check out brookeoaks.com. Different things going on this Wednesday. We've got a training going on. You can see what my friends are doing and listen in if you would like. So I hope you have a great day. Thanks for hopping on here, and I'll talk to you.